What's going on, YouTube? All right, so today, or this video, let's say this video, today is Wednesday. Today's hump day. So we're going to start on this. Let me show you. The Regal, the famous Buick 307. We got the heads off of it, so we got to clean everything up. And yeah, clean everything up, put the gaskets back on. I know I haven't been telling you much about this thing, but we just, like I said, it's my dad's car. I just haven't been making videos on it. I'm sure a lot of you are more here for this, obviously, and the racing. But today, we're gonna start on this thing. Get this box out of the way. I'm gonna try to get as much as I can done on this to try to get the head off of it. I gotta take the head off of this thing. So hopefully we can get as much as we can off and see how far we can get today. So stay with us. Okay, y'all. So I've been really slack again about updating y'all on everything, but let me show you where we're at on this thing. So just let me turn this around. All right, so we got the intake off, we got the turbo stuff off, which actually that turbo is so much smaller, it clears, it'll come out, everything comes out together, so I didn't take turbo off. Of course, got the cam gears off. I got all this wiring right here I'm pulling out. Pull all that out of the way. And then I gotta move this oil line right here. So I got all those out of the way. So I'm actually, what I'm gonna plan on doing is not taking the intake off. I think I can get these wires far enough out of the way that I can pick this head up. Might take some zip tie action to get some of the stuff out of the way. But I think I can get those wires far enough out of the way just to pull this off. But that's where we're at. So got all the injectors out, got the fuel rail off. Oh, let me show you my plans. My fuel rail's in the back. I have to show you my plans for my car, because obviously it's the same setup for the most part. What's these kids doing out here? Hey, what are you doing? Jake and leaving? Oh, okay. All right, so Jason's leaving. But anyway, that's where we go. So I gotta get the valve covers off. I gotta get the cams out of it, and then unbolt the head. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna finish pulling these wires out of the way right fast. And then I'm gonna start taking these valve covers off and take a look. It did have, it had water in number 2 cylinder. Uh-oh. And then, we knew the head gasket was blown. So I had water in number 2 cylinder. And then it does have water in the oil. So I don't know if it went down through by the rings to get to the oil, or if it's actually blown in an oil gasket. We're gonna look at the block real good, make sure the block ain't cracked. We're gonna check the head out real good, and we'll go from there. We'll make a decision once we get it off and get it looked at. So let's get it. All right, y'all, so we got the valve covers off. Obviously, you can see there's still water in there. It looks like, let's assess it here. It looks like number 1 was blowing water through. And I know number 2 had water in the cylinder. It had leaked water into the cylinder. So I don't know if you can see or not. Oh yeah, see there. It does have ARP head studs in it, but we did ARP head stud and head gas stuff like that, but I don't know if I just didn't get them tore down right. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we pull it apart. So I'm going in for this evening. It's not real late. I'm going to spend some time with the family. And we'll be back out here in a few days. We'll get working. Dad's going to get gaskets for that thing. We got to get it cleaned up, get the gaskets cleaned off of it, and all that good stuff. So we get it cleaned up. We get that the rest of the way apart, hopefully this week sometime. We do have plans pretty much all weekend, so probably won't get to work on it too much this weekend. Next weekend, we're going racing, y'all. 828 Cash Days, Wilkesboro, March 4th. Be there. It's going to be fun. I'm in stick shift class. I don't know. We'll see how I do, I guess. I don't know. Hope for the best is all you can do. Go have fun. That's the main thing. I want to get an event. I want to do some races this year. Hopefully we can get in a few. and go from there. But stay with us through this video and see how much of this car we get took apart, see if we can figure out where it's blown out or what the failure was, see if the block crack, head crack, see what's going on with it. So stay with us. All right, y'all. So we got the head off of it. We have looked at everything. We haven't found anything. Obviously, number one was the one that was leaking the worst. Number two was the one we got water out of. But I'll show you the head in a minute. We visually inspected everything. We don't see any cracks. These motors on these cars are bad to crack. If I can get my light to stay up. In here, these threads don't get cleaned out. They get gummed up. People don't clean them out. And they go and run the bolts in. When they do, they tighten them down and it splits the blocks. But we cleaned everything up when we done it. This is the motor. This one has non-turbo pistons in it. So it is a 9.2 to 1 motor. Maybe, actually, it's probably a little more than that because the head's been decked on it. But ain't looking too bad. I cut that hose because I couldn't get to it. We're going to put a new one on anyway. Number one is definitely one that's leaking. And as y'all can see, obviously it had, let me get over here. It had a multi-layer. Hold on a minute. It did have a multi-layer head gasket on it. Everything that we have looked at, everything's looked fine. I don't know. Obviously, number one had been leaking for a while. I'll tell you a little secret that we did find, though, that isn't anything to do with this. Let me show you the head. So obviously on the head, this is number one. So you can see number one was definitely the one that was doing most of the leaking. Number two might have been leaking a little, but the rest of them ain't too shabby. Considering this is not a, this don't have a standalone on it. This has got a straight up SAFC on it. Some old school technology. I'm gonna stick this in a cleaner. I wasn't gonna take this off, but I think I'm gonna take this intake off since I got off the car now. I'm gonna take the intake off and I'm gonna stick this in the parts washer, clean everything up, blow it all out good, clean everything really good, and then put the head gasket stuff back on it, clean it up, make sure I don't see anything. But so let's show you here. Chris is out there yelling. These do have, I don't know if you can see it or not, but they are ARP head studs in this motor. Last time we put this motor together, we done it in the middle of the night. We done it in the driveway. And we torqued everything down. I'm pretty sure I've done it at like 95 foot-pounds. Torqued everything down, done it that way. Did a couple things wrong. One, the torque wrench I had evidently didn't do right, because when we took this motor apart just a minute ago, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna grab a torque wrench. I'm gonna put some torque behind it and see what happens. I set the torque wrench at 90 pounds, and it literally, what would you say, 3/4 of a turn to a turn, turn and a half? Yeah. Anywhere from 3/4 to a turn and a half on most of the bolts that we tested. We literally tested one in the middle, one near the front, and we stopped because we found like 3 that would turn 3/4 to a turn and a half. So obviously it wasn't even torqued down to where it was supposed to be. So I think that was some of it. One of the reasons that I feel like it wasn't torqued down the way it should have been is because of just bad on my part. I'm not 100% sure, but I do not think that I used the ARP. I guess it's like a lubricant thing that you use when you use ARPs to torque them down. I didn't do it on this head that I can remember. Like I said, it's been 3 years. So I mean, it's been together for 3 years, but I don't think I put the ARP stuff on it. So this time I have a whole jug of that ARP stuff from where we done something. I don't remember what we done. But anyway, we got a whole thing of it. We're going to use it on the studs. I'm going to clean the threads out again, of course, just to make sure. And then we'll use that stuff. And, yeah, we'll put it back together. So that's it for that. We'll see where we go. We got Dad went to order his gaskets for the Buick today. we got some stuff in the parts cleaner right now, trying to clean up some of the stuff. So hopefully we can get it back together. His intake, we're going to try to get the paint off of it. He's got most of it off, so let's see how it goes. Stay with us and come back and see what we get done next time. Anyway, appreciate y'all. See you.